Hello everybody. Today we are going to be making a cow water basin, and to do that we need a form because we're going to make it out of concrete. You can make it out of like plywood, like stripped together. I guess you could use plastic jugs, but I don't think they'd be very strong. So we are going to be using an old oil tank that we converted to a grain barrel at one time, but we no longer use. So I got 2 barrels, but we need to cut them up to sizes. We're going to have a 3-foot 6-inch insert, and then a 4-foot 2-inch, like the outside. So it's going to be about 6 inches thick on the bottom and 6 inches wide. I don't know really else what to say, but yeah, so let's get started.
This is not a tutorial. I do not recommend trying this at home. This is not OSHA approved. If you do make this concrete trough, you do so at your own risk.
Okay, now I need a 4-foot section. This is the outside barrel, not the inside. The inside's gonna be 3.5 feet. So I'm gonna do like 4'2", just so I have a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, to start cutting this, I'm gonna use an angle grinder first to give myself a slot to start. It's just easier that way. Okay. 2 separate barrels.
Okay, now I am cutting the expansion piece that we need to make the outside barrel bigger. And my dad is welding on a piece of angle iron to one side of the barrel that I cut. That is where we're going to open the form. Okay, this is the seam of the outside barrel form. What we're doing now is we're clamping the angle iron together so that I can drill through them and put some bolts there because we'll have to open it up later. Okay, we now have the expansion piece that I cut out for the outside barrel. We have it attached to the one side of the barrel with that angle iron that's bolted together, and the other side we're just going to weld a seam. Okay, there were some holes in the barrel because it was, again, an oil tank. So what we're going to do is we are just going to fill the outside with Bondo so it'll be nice and smooth. And the inside, I'll take a piece of scrap metal and just weld it on.
Tomorrow? Stand that off and look. No more holes. Voila!
Okay, now we are going to make a rebar inside, like a middle, like a cylinder. We're going to have to bend the rebar into circles to do this. So we actually used part of the barrel and we stuck the rebar inside one of the holes and we just walked around to make our circle. It actually bent surprisingly well. We just did that a couple more times and then I had enough to do the inside. Okay, so this rebar like cylinder is going to remain in the concrete. It's to give it extra strength. At some point, I guess my little brother walked in and he wanted to show you all that he has a snack. It's his favorite snack. It's a pack of cookies. That's all, and then he walked away, I guess. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me very well because it's very windy out here, but today's concrete day for the form. I got 2 pallets of concrete behind me and I got our form. Now remember, our form is 1 barrel that's been sliced and a chunk has been added to widen it, and then we have a smaller barrel inside. Now I also have rebar framed around the inside like a cylinder so that the concrete will be stronger. So it's all formed up. I got the pipe for going out already, the pipe going in already. Today's concrete day, so hope this goes well. Okay, as you can see, we had to take another part of the barrel and weld it here, and we bolted it here so we can unclamp this. So whenever we welded it here, to try to get this other barrel to expand, so this really thick metal, it was really hard. Okay, I'm sorry if you can barely hear me. It's really windy out here. Okay, so here's our wire mesh, not our wire mesh, sorry, our rebar the whole way around. So this will be the end of the barrel. This will be the outside of the form, and this is inside the concrete. We got that the whole way around. Okay, see our bottom, that's our drainage pipe right here. I gotta put a pipe up here so concrete doesn't go down in. This blue pipe is our water incoming. I gotta pull that over this way. I need about 4 inches from there. Them 2 pieces of metal are just so I can put a board down there to stand on it to form in the inside. Man, I gotta go get them tools. I still got a lot of prep work to do for this. Okay, as you can see, the blue pipe comes out this way because our spring is way that way. So we'll have to dig that later. But today it's just concrete. Sorry, I'm being fast. I got a lot to do. Okay, so this is our outgoing. It's cut off here because we're gonna add a line later to that creek. It's literally just spring water, so there's no problems with that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to just mix up a bunch of concrete. I'm gonna fill in the bottom first and smooth it out, and then I'll go up the sides. Okay, this mixer can mix about 2 60-pound bags of saccharin at a time, and it actually does work pretty quickly.
Throw your camera stand.
No, I dropped it. Not drop the phone in the concrete. That'd be very bad. Okay, we're coming up okay. Remember, not so wet anymore since we're coming up the sides. Okay, show me how much more silica you have in that bucket. Okay.
This stuff is like, it was like wet and it's starting to pop up.
I accidentally called this silica earlier, but it's actually basalt fiber. This was actually made, from what I've learned, okay, online, this was actually from a volcanic rock. And I know it looks like kind of like rectangles, if that's what it looks like, but when it gets wet and it tears apart, it actually is like little strands of hairs, and it's supposed to really strengthen your concrete. Okay, the reasons I'm tapping the side of the barrel is just to release any air pockets. So when we take off the form, we don't have a bunch of little holes in it. Okay, today is the next morning after we poured that form yesterday. We're not going to pull it off just yet, but I am coming up to go look at it. I'm really excited about pulling it off, but we got to wait just a little bit more. Besides, I got some things to do anyway. Okay, let's see. Okay, look, she's dried on the top. She's dried inside. Okay, so what I have to do so that we can pull this form is I gotta go cut a 6x6 or a 4x4, but I think I have more 6x6s. Okay, I'm gonna cut it to the length of the inside. Oh, I forgot a tape measure. Anywho, so then I'm gonna stick it underneath and hold it up with tie wire. So when the backhoe comes, it'll come like this with a point, and I can take a chain from the point or the forks down around the 6x6, and then we can lift this form up. Okay, we got the form out, but it was a little harder than I thought it was gonna be. We actually had to cut the form in half inside the concrete with angle grinders because it did not come out good. Yesterday we took the form off the cow's water trough after we concreted it. So then we dug the drain line for it and then we hayed around it. So I'm going to show you that right now. It's all dried. There's a little bit of mess ups and I'll show you. We measured like 20 inches up off the ground because it's going to sink a few inches down because you know soft soil, it sinks. So we're gonna probably end up like 24 inches. So that's the calves get to drink. It's the water bin. We got our incoming water coming up. We're probably gonna tee that off, elbow that off later. And here is our drain. See, the water's gonna fill up to that and it's gonna overflow into here. Now the reason we have it so that we can take it out is so that when the bin gets dirty, we just release it and then we can hose out the whole bin. Okay, it's kind of windy and loud out here, so bear with me. The reason the form didn't come off nice is it was metal, and we thought it would slip out, but it didn't. So that means whenever we were pulling on it, we had to cut the inside, and it was almost like it was pulling the concrete with it. That's why we have some mess ups that I'll have to fix later with some concrete patch. It's okay, it's just a cow water bin. But if anybody wants to try it, I recommend maybe coating the metal in like a plastic the whole way up so that when you pull it, it's not sticking to the concrete whatsoever. That was our problem. And then the other thing was we had one side clamped with the bolts. I recommending having two sides clamped with the bolts because that one side, the barrel was so tough, it didn't open. So I had to come over here and cut this side off. So if you're gonna do it, I recommend having two of the angle iron clamps with the bolts so you can just undo it and open it up. In the inside, I recommend wrapping it in plastic so that it pulls out nice. That's about it for this video. Later, I'll come back and I'm going to paint the top of this and the inside so that we're just protecting the concrete from the water. Okay, that's about it. Right now, we don't have any water coming to it. We still have to dig the whole line from
the end of our field spring the whole way here. So that's it for now. Bye.